"Hey, my dear, is there something you would like to do if you were young again?" Shōzō asked his beloved wife, Ine. He apologized for not being able to take her on a honeymoon when they were younger because he was poor, but she doesn't mind. She's already happy just being able to talk and spend time peacefully by his side. The elderly couple walked to an important apple tree, the one they had planted together after their wedding to celebrate their marriage, which was 60 years ago. The tree even split after a typhoon accident, but they took care of it and it recovered. Nature's power is incredible. There, Ine is incredulous when she sees a golden apple. Could this be a blessed fruit? That night, Shōzō reflected on how poor and busy he was when he was younger. Yet his wife never minded and stood by him through all the hardships. Still, he wonders if she might have wanted to wear fancy clothes or travel to various cities. He washes his face and, looking in the mirror, sees his youthful face reflected. He can hardly believe what he sees and runs, shouting his wife's name. To his surprise and joy, she has also rejuvenated. Ine is speechless with astonishment. Shōzō immediately invites her on a honeymoon. Another night, their granddaughter Mino visits them, only to be perplexed by seeing her grandparents as young, beautiful, and healthy people. She quickly gets used to it and even jokes with them, asking if she can have Shōzō for herself. On the way home, Mino happily mentions to her father about her young grandparents. Of course, he has no idea what she means. During a cricket game, two elderly men discuss how sad it has been not seeing Shōzō and Ine, thinking they have been missing from the park. But then they hear several old ladies shouting at the young and handsome Shōzō as he assesses the ball. They even admit they have no chance against the young ones. Ine appears, offering tea to everyone, and the two old men tremble at the sight of the youthful Ine. We flash back to a few days earlier when Shōzō and his son Yoshiaki were having a discussion. Yoshiaki wanted his parents to move in with them because he was worried about their advanced age. However, Shōzō refused, knowing that their ancestors had protected that land for hundreds of years. Ine apologized to her daughter-in-law Kid for having to hear the husband's arguments while they washed the dishes. Ine felt perfectly fine as long as she could stay by her husband's side. Back in the present, Kid comes to bring ingredients Ine had requested. She encounters her father-in-law, who gently mentions that Ine is at a meeting at the community center. Kid is completely confused, seeing Shōzō young for the first time. And oh my, she quickly hides in the bathroom because she didn't expect her father-in-law to be so handsome. This is becoming a bit indecent. Indecent enough for Ine to sense strange vibes. Later, Yoshiaki has a mild headache trying to comprehend the magic that happened to his parents. Now he understands what his daughter Mino meant when she said she was playing lovers with her grandpa. She nervously explains to her father that Shōzō is very kind, unlike her own father. He senses the strange vibe as Mino clings to her grandfather again, and Kid says that grandchild and grandparent relationships are off-limits even in fiction. The dynamics of this quiet family are becoming a bit odd. Nevertheless, Shōzō asserts that he only has eyes for his beloved wife, and Ine tells him they will have a conversation later. Wait, why is Shōzō the one being punished here? As Yoshiaki and his family are leaving, Ine gently pats her son's head, wondering if he has been working too hard lately. This takes him back to his childhood. When you're an adult, you don't get many compliments, do you? At a meeting for the city's sports festival, the elderly participants are worried about losing the festival because they are old and have physical disadvantages. But a friend of theirs has a solution, and that solution is Shōzō. With his enviable physique and powerful muscles, he's like a Greek god. On the day of the festival, the northern city came to intimidate the southern city, knowing all members of the southern city were over 50 years old. The northern city counted on the victory of Shoyuta Igarashi, a second-year high school student and member of the soccer club, and Daiki, a third-year student and captain of the baseball team. However, one of the old men says they have a secret weapon, and that weapon is the Saitō couple. The old opponent finds it funny but can hardly believe his eyes when he sees the couple arriving. During the first game, the forces between the two teams were evenly matched. However, one of the elderly women from the southern group convinces Ine to do something to energize the team. This awakens incredible strength in Shōzō, and they win the contest. Even though Ine was a bit embarrassed, the next event is a three-legged race with the brothers leading the contest. Since they have been playing sports together for over 10 years, they have the advantage of synchronization. But can you compete with the synchronization of a couple married for almost 70 years? I don't think so. As soon as the Saitō couple receives the baton, Shōzō and Ine easily take the lead. The two claim victory. No matter the event, the Saitō couple excels, and the southern city wins by a landslide. With the northern city losing, Grandpa Igarashi is not happy with the embarrassment his grandchildren faced. He resents Shōzō for stealing Ine from him 70 years ago and now for stealing his grandson's smiles. But then, Ine visits them. She can't be near her husband right now, as he's receiving many compliments for his victory and is surrounded. So, she decided to share lunch with the Igarashis. As they ate, Grandpa Igarashi mentioned that his wife passed away 3 years ago, lamenting that she left their grandchildren. Ine then tells the boys that their grandchildren remind her of him when he confessed his feelings for her. What surprises the boys is that's why he was always fighting with the southern team. On another day, Grandpa Igarashi sent Shoyuta to deliver something as a thank you for the lunch. But with Mino answering the door, the boy turned red, as he seems to like her. He hands over the bag, and she invites him in. Shoyuta still didn't know Mino was related to that infamous couple who defeated them. She had always been nice to him in school, and he has a certain feeling for her, but he doesn't know how to proceed. He tries to disguise it by fiddling with his phone, but it doesn't help much, as she also becomes interested in what he's playing. Unbeknownst to them, Mino's mother and grandmother were spying, and Keed is wondering what to do if her daughter gets a boyfriend and eventually marries. However, Shōzō is excited to have great-grandchildren. Talking with Shōzō, Shoyuta finds him very kind, but somehow he feels immense pressure from Ine and Keed. With the adults wanting to know more about Shoyuta, Mino praises him for being smart and good at sports. However, this only leads Ine and Keed to nervously whisper, judging whether he would be a good match for Mino. Shōzō tries to ask Shoyuta if there's a girl he likes, only to be quickly interrupted by his wife, who invents an excuse that there was a mosquito on her face. After a while, Shoyuta goes home and bids farewell to the family. Mino returns to the room with her grandfather, feeling a little sad because she wanted to talk to Shoyuta alone a little longer. Leaving Shōzō intrigued, Mino likes that boy, and now only Shōzō knows. On another day, Mino is surprised to hear that her grandmother was the one who confessed first to Shōzō. They married for love, which was rare at that time. Shōzō then said he always longed for Ine and told her he was ecstatic. But the times simply didn't allow it. Her father was a man of tradition. He intended for Shōzō to have an arranged marriage with his good friend's daughter. Because back then, the family one was born into influenced many things. First, Shōzō did nothing, until he had a huge fight with his father. For a while, he thought about running away, but with Ine's support, they managed to overcome everything. Shōzō remembered his wife as so cool back then. She even confronted the girl his father introduced to him, with Ine telling her, "I'll never let you have my man." Well, she also had someone she liked, so the girl was kind enough to gracefully bow out. Ine is embarrassed by this story, and Mino says Grandma really went all out. Upon hearing all this, Mino decided to ask Ine if she could consider her a rival in love and reenact that moment. This makes Shōzō's eyes sparkle, eager to see his beloved in that scene. So, Ine had no choice. She cupped Mino's face and uttered the same words at that fateful encounter, making the granddaughter and grandfather sigh for Ine. Shōzō feels truly grateful to have married this woman. They're so adorable. This is a new anime of the season, and it has a really enjoyable romance. It's almost over, and I'll try to bring it complete throughout the week. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.